Welcome, everyone, to another exciting night of Friday Night Football under the Friday Night Lights, brought to you live by the Varsity Sports Show. Tonight's showdown is between the Corona del Sol Aztecs and the Salpointe Catholic High School Lancers. I'm Jason Goldie, and I'll be calling play-by-play for you tonight. With me is Paul Schultz doing color analysis. Schultz, what do you think we're going to see tonight?
Well, we've got two different kind of teams, two different approaches here. We've got the Salpointe Lancers, the home team. They're 5-0 coming into this game, and they're trying to maintain that unbeaten streak. On the other side, we've got Corona del Sol. As we know, we've followed them all season long. They won their first game of the year, had a tough stretch, bounced back in their last game 2 weeks ago against Marcos Danica, and they're trying to build a winning streak here tonight.
These two teams have very different strategies. Salpointe is run heavy, but Corona, they balance the running and the passing.
Absolutely. Corona has such a versatile offense when they can get it going well in the run game and the pass game, and then have such talented quarterback in Connor Ackerley that can throw the ball deep, that can throw screen passes, and that can take off himself and run. It's just so hard to stop that offense when they get rolling. And a very talented wide receiver core as well, as we've seen many times.
It's spooky season, and what could be more scary than the top recruit in the state of Arizona?
That's right. We see the lights dim here as Salpointe gets ready to make their grand entrance, and I see over there on that sideline Connor Ackerley jumping up and down, getting fired up. And you talk about the talent of that side, the Corona del Sol Aztecs and their offense. When you look at Raiden Vinesbride, I can't remember if this this offer was announced by our last game, but I did see.
I think you did announce it.
I think I did. The Raiden Vinesbride, I believe, got an offer from Kansas.
Kansas?
I believe so. Yeah.
I thought it was in New Mexico.
Well, yeah. Let me check on that actually, real quick.
Last time I checked, Connor had only one offer from Western New Mexico.
So, yes, Raiden Vinesbride a couple weeks ago. You were correct. I'm sorry.
You're talking about Raiden.
Yes. So, Raiden had an offer a couple weeks ago from Purdue, as we discussed briefly.
He's got several Power 5 offers.
Indeed, and his latest is from the Kansas Jayhawks. So, definitely a wide receiver that's getting a lot of attention for good reason. We've seen how extremely talented he has been for this Aztecs team, and his ability to get upfield and make explosive plays for himself on some short catches, on some long catches. Having him as part of this offense is just so important and such a great asset for Jake Barrow. I mean, you look at, he averages 135.8 yards per game. And the second guy on that list, Zuri Glenn, is far behind him at 54.6.
Yeah.
So you just see, I mean, and it doesn't matter if he's, had a bunch of catches in the game or even a few. That average is so high because he is able to create space for himself and just fly up the field.
Raiden Vinesbride is one of the top 5 recruits in the class of 2025 in the state of Arizona.
And then you look at the other side and just comparing those numbers with how Raiden Vinesbride, how talented he is. The top receiver for the Lancers of Salpointe Catholic, Nathan Spivey, only 49.4 yards average per game. And Jason, you did mention that they rely heavily or more heavily on the run than does Corona del Sol, and that could certainly impact those numbers.
Yeah, and speaking of Salpointe Catholic, going on to the defensive side of the ball, you got the top recruit in the entire state of Arizona, Elijah Rushing.
Salpointe has a pretty good track record with some high recruits when you consider Bijan Robinson a couple years ago as well.
He's on the Falcons now.
Yep.
Elijah Rushing is a defensive end, 6'5", 250, and he's committed to U of A.
Right down the road from his high school. Can't get much better than that.
Gotta stay
sure.
local, man.
Right. Staying local. His parents, his family, his friends can all come out and watch him at Arizona Stadium in the future.
And also, Keona Wilhite just decommitted from U of A.
Very interesting. So we just saw the opening toss happen, and Salpointe will actually receive the opening kickoff. And boy, on this near sideline, they talk about getting their team fired up, hyped up. Those Lancers huddle to their captains and get ready to go for this one. So I think that means we will get to see the Corona del Sol defense first, their first test of the game. We've seen some good and some bad from both sides of the ball for the Aztecs. The question is, which will we see tonight here on a quite breezy night in Tucson? 89 degrees, the temperature at kickoff.
It's a 2-hour drive from Phoenix to Tucson. But is this drive going to be worth it?
We will find out soon. And Coach Barrow, when I talked to him before the game, mentioned that he told me this a couple weeks ago as well, but just that they want to get down here early so they can relax and get ready and get locked in for this game, not let that drive bother them. So they had a nice day here in Tucson coming down early.
Salpointe may be undefeated, but they're only the 18th ranked team in the state, and Corona's 25th.
Not far behind them. And
I expect this to be a close game.
I'm excited to see how it goes.
And this one goes out the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Into the end zone for a touchback.
So we look at the stats for the Corona del Sol defense as they come out on the field. Wow, we had a firework out there. I don't know if that was planned or if some fans might have brought that in, but talk about a way to get this thing started. They've also got the colored lights around some of the light posts here, that orange or sort of yellowish orange illuminating the light poles. Oh, and there's another firework. Oh, my goodness.
We're in U of A country, but Salpointe wears ASU colors. Isn't that ironic?
That is funny.
In at quarterback is Taylor Nagori. As this is a surprise, a run on the first play of the game to Jackson Banhee, who has scored 9 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, and you didn't see a whole lot of pressure there from the Aztecs defense. I think he kind of ran into his offensive line there, and there were 3 or 4 Aztec defenders near the offensive line able to get brought down easily there.
Bottom of your screen is Armani Sheriff. As here is a shovel pass to Nathan Spivey. Nathan Spivey, you were talking about earlier, he has caught 3 touchdowns this year.
Credit to Keen Abril getting in there very quick and just wrapping up Spivey before he could get much of a gain. It sets up a 3rd and middle situation at 3rd and 6.
Keen Abril is one of the top players on this Aztec defense. This pass is intercepted!
Wow!
Arion Wade with the interception. That's his 2nd touch of the season after that fumble recovery against Pinnacle.
Wow. What a way to get this game started for Corona del Sol. There is not much you could ask for better than that. And we'll see what Connor Ackerley and the offense can do. And pretty favorable field position as they start their drive at the 27.
95, Elijah Rushing is so scary. He's the top recruit in the state, committed to Arizona. He'll be playing under Jed Fish. Ackerley throws, and it's Incomplete, nearly caught. Zuri Glenn, the intended receiver, helped up by Cruz Swearingen.
I think he really liked what he saw there with that one-on-one matchup. Armani Sheriff was guarding the receiver there, and just not a lot of other defenders in that area. They were more towards the middle of the field, and Ackerley, I think, right off the line of scrimmage, liked that matchup best.
This team has a lot of two-way players, does Salpointe. Corona doesn't really have as many. As here's a pass complete to Swearingen. Swearingen down after about a short gain.
I think, if I remember correctly, this is a different approach that we've seen early. Usually we see Mustachia really in the ground game getting heavily used early in the game, but I think Coach Barrow's really trying to go for it here in this one. Be more aggressive with the play calling. Oh, they got him to jump.
The hard count.
On the defense, 5 yards, first down.
I think 4 or 5 of the guys on that defensive line jumped at that one. It wasn't just one of them.
Yeah. That was a good hard count. If you're within 5 yards of the first down, the best move is to get a hard count, as Zuri Glenn went for the one-handed catch.
I think that pass was tipped by the defense, and Glenn was almost still able to haul it in. What an athletic play there, or athletic attempt by Zuri Glenn.
Well, none of it matters anyway. Connor Ackerley is going for the end zone on this first drive. Here is a tackle for a loss by Jai Jones. Got tackled. On the tackle is Orlando Gonzalez, who has a rushing touchdown against Marana.
They've run that play a couple times this year, but usually they don't run into as much traffic when they motion Jai Jones into the backfield. That time just sniffed out immediately by Salpointe.
We've seen him do that before. Ackerley throws. Jai Jones bobbles it, and it's incomplete.
I think that pass might have been a little bit farther downfield than Ackerley would have liked it to be coming out of the hands, or at least indicated by Jai Jones's route. But that sets up a 4th and 14. And we've seen a little bit of both. And on this drive, Coach Barrow decides to go for it.
I'm not sure if I would do that.
That is just the utmost level of trust in your quarterback.
Yeah. I don't think Luke Hawley has attempted a field goal all season. As here is a sack. It was number 9. Looks like the PA person says it's Elijah Rushing, who I guess changed his number from 95 to 9. I don't know what's going on there.
That was an interesting play in that.
Yeah, I don't have a number 9.
Ackerley had 2 or 3 reads that he was able to get through there, and then the pocket just collapsed on him, and he had nowhere to go. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't have a number 9 on my roster here, but we have 2 number 8s for the Lancers.
The run by Salpointe, short gain.
Number 4, Jalen
Willis Denard, who has rushed for 4 TDs.
By the way, Cody, thank you for helping with the ref line. Appreciate it. Back to 1. I guess it just needed to be rebooted.
The run. I think that's Willis Denard again, wrapped up by the Aztec defense.
Keen Abril again. We've seen him already active early off the line of scrimmage and able to put a stop to that one pretty quickly.
The 27-yard line is going to be 3rd and 5 for Salpointe.
It's 3rd and 5. It looks like the Lancers might pass the ball. No, they don't. This one goes to Jackson Banhee.
Ball carrier is number 5, Jackson.
Oh, he fell forward maybe just enough for a first down. Let's see where they spot it.
We will certainly find out.
Tackle was made
And
by
I think, yep, they're going to give it to him.
6-yard gain. That's going to result in a Lancer first down.
And they call first down. Banhee rushing a short gain. Bonnier. They're saying Bonnier over the PA system. He does. Jackson Bonnier does have a brother on this team. His name is Noah. As here's a pass, incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
That was,
Intended receiver, number 88, Isaac Boyle.
it was intended for Isaac Moyle. It would have been his 3rd reception of the year.
The pass just led the receiver a little too much over his head. And the Corona del Sol defense, and Jamie Lott in particular, was just right there to make contact with the defender, even if he did catch it.
As he's scrambling, has to throw it away.
Pass is incomplete. Intended receiver.
That was
And that was not intentional grounding because there was a receiver in the area.
still a little bit of a dangerous throw there as Jamar Patterson was running across the field, and I think if he was 2 or 3 steps ahead, that might have been another interception.
Joey Bernier. Back deep for the Aztecs, number 4, Kenbrell Walker.
Canberra Walker will take the punt return.
Penalty flag on the field.
The punter,
On offense, 5 yards. Repeat, 4th down.
as they go back 5 yards, the punter for Salpointe, it is Joseph Bernier. Or short punt to the 40, taken by Walker, and he's wrapped up at the 50.
Walker on the return.
That was really nice. Walker was able to kind of come into the ball with a little bit of momentum, got a running start on it, which allowed him to create his own space and get out to the 50. So not as good field position as the last drive, but still not bad for Ackerley in the offense.
Spotted at the 49-yard line. Correction.
I didn't really understand was there a penalty flag?
Penalty.
Yes.
10-yard penalty is gonna move
Oh, a holding penalty on the punt.
the line where it will be
1st and 10. The ball is spotted at the 39. That's Quentin Bradley on the run. He scored 2 touchdowns this year. One against Pinnacle and the other against Marcos Deniza 2 weeks ago.
They give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and 8.
Ackerley drops back, throws. Zuri Glenn. And they're almost. It's 3rd down and about 3 to go.
That was a really nice break off the line of scrimmage from Zuri Glenn. Just a short out route, and he was able to stay in front of the defender and make himself open.
Ackerley hands off to Bradley, and Bradley is wrapped up at the 45. It's Thomas Regina and Keona Wilhite on the tackle.
So they went for it last time on the 4th and I believe 18. This time on 4th and 5 from the 45, they will elect to punt it away.
In punt formation. Stanley Gasket the 3rd.
Neither team really able to do a whole lot offensively so far.
Malcolm Flynn's punt is all the way to the 15. Down at around the 10, the 11-yard line. Malcolm Flynn is one of the best punters in the state. He's committed to Brown.
I was going to say, if we saw on the last punt from Salpointe, one that didn't go that far, but Malcolm Flynn, what a spectacular punt there. And a very intelligent young man. I believe his GPA's right around 4.5 or so last I saw when he committed to Brown. If he wasn't committed to Brown, I would say maybe he should head up to ASU because they are certainly in need of a punter from what I've seen over the last couple weeks.
Josh Carlson is our punter. As here we got
Pass complete to number 8, Nathan Spivey.
Nathan Spivey on the reception. Jamar Patterson on the tackle.
Second down and 7.
We have a new quarterback in the game. For the Lancers, it is Aiden Cook Rodriguez. As a Wills Denard. Max Preps has his last name as Willis Denard. It's actually Wills Denard.
2-yard loss on the play.
Interesting decision to switch quarterbacks so early in the game. I guess head coach Eric Rogers just did not like what he was seeing from those first couple drives and decided to try and switch it up.
3.5 minutes left in the first quarter. The game is scoreless as Cook Rodriguez takes off. He's down to the 30. Forced out of bounds at the 34.
And that was the only reason he was really slowed up there was because he ran into his own blockers. I think if he didn't, he might have had enough speed to escape the defenders and might have been gone upfield.
That's obviously a first down. As the Salpointe Catholic Lancers look to draw first blood. And Wills Denard on the run. Looks like the Aztec defense knows that Salpointe has a run-heavy offense.
That was a little number 4 on number 4 action.
Yeah.
Cambrell Walker made the tackle.
to gain of 6 on the previous play. 2nd down and 4.
Cook Rodriguez hands off. Wills Denard. And look at him. Gets the first down at the 49 of Corona.
That was a crucial stop by Isaiah McKay, as if he didn't get to the running back there, he might have not had anyone else in front of him.
Isaiah McKay leads the team in tackles. To the right side, almost unprotected, was Wills Denard, the number 1 running back.
Group tackle there by Jamie Lott and Cambrell Walker. And now Wills Denard goes out of the game, as does Tyler Martinez, the wide receiver.
The running back is going to be Jackson Banny, or Bonnier, who has 9 rushing touchdowns compared to Wills Denard's 4.
They're going to watch it start passing now.
In motion was Spivey. As here's a run. Got the first down. Bonnier.
Tackle made by number 9, Ian Riddle.
Bonnier averaging 79.8 rushing yards per game, leading the team by roughly 15 yards per game over Jaden Wills Denard. We also saw it running back.
This team likes to split the run game between those two guys. As a pass complete and met at the 13 about. That was Owen Brock, his 5th reception of the year.
I will say, on the defensive side, you got to credit Brandon Holmes for his vision seeing that run take place, and he went straight across the field to make that hit around the 10 or 15 yard line that probably saved a touchdown there.
From the 13-yard line, it's going to be
Corona is kicking off regional play here against Salpointe, who kicked it off last week against Mountain Point. Do you know those two teams wear the same colors?
Is that
Maroon
so?
and gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
I meant, sorry, it was against Desert Vista, not Mountain Point.
Funny you should mention
Yeah.
that point, though. That will be the next opponent for the Aztecs next Friday.
On the 20th, while Corona faces Brophy.
Oh, that'll be a tough one.
Bonnier met immediately at the line of scrimmage. That looked to be Mason Alexander and Renner Johnson. And that is the end of the first quarter. The game is scoreless as we take a quick break.
When you think of family restaurants and sports bars, think Bonfire. Bonfire is part of the Tempe landscape, supporting local schools. Join the Bonfire Booster Club Challenge. Mention Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Marcos de Niza, Mountain Point, or Valley Christian, and that school's sports program will earn loyalty points. The winner after football season will earn a fundraiser at Bonfire. Come for the food and fun, support the community. Bonfire, open every day east of I-10 on Warner. Show your game ticket all day Friday and Saturday and get 15% off. 480-306-6801.
Hey there, I'm Aaron Nemiroff, and I'll be joining the Varsity Sports Show for the fall 2023 semester. Sports has always been my passion, and I'm looking forward to working with the team. Check out my Twitter for a variety of sports content at Aaron2Tons.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Del Sol football as the Aztecs kick off regional play against the Lancers of Salpointe Catholic High School. Salpointe kicked off regional play last week in the win against Desert Vista. And now they look to score the first points of the game at the beginning of the second quarter.
That was I don't want to jinx anything for the rest of the game, but I will say that was a fairly quickly played first quarter, thanks to the Salpointe Catholic run game early on.
Yeah. Corona has definitely been studying during those 2 weeks as a would-be touchdown catch, incomplete, dropped by Nathan Spivey.
That was very, very close. I don't think Spivey quite had control of it when he went to the ground, and I think if we had super zoom cameras and instant replay, we'd probably see that down on the goal line. But nonetheless, the officials down on the field confirmed that it was an incomplete pass.
As they will line up to attempt a field goal with Kaya Francone.
Oh, wow.
That was almost blocked by Nkedia, but the kick is good nonetheless.
Just barely through the uprights.
With 11:49 left in the half, the score is Salpointe 3, Corona del Sol 0.
And we will quickly check in with Coach Jake Barrow. Here is our pregame interview from before the game with him.
All right, back from the bye week, Corona del Sol football with the Varsity Sports Show. I'm here with Coach Barrow. Coach, first of all, how was the bye week? How was that rest for your guys, and what did you guys work on?
Yeah, it was good for us. You know, good chance to kind of rest and heal up. Some guys with some minor injuries, gives them some time to recover. And we just kind of focused back to fundamentals, back to the base philosophies of our offense and defense, and kind of got back to it and just reminded them basic principles of what we want to accomplish.
How was your day down in Tucson? I know you said you wanted to kind of take a trip down here earlier in the day, and how'd that go for you guys?
Yeah, it was good. We got down here pretty early. We had our team meal down here about 2:30. Went out, did a walkthrough just down the road from here, and then rolled in here about 5 o'clock. So it was good, kind of make it into a whole day, not just take an hour-and-a-half ride, get off the bus, and play.
Now I know as a coach you might not look at the numbers as much with the records and whatnot, but when you look at this, on paper, 5-0 with Salpointe coming in, maybe their strength of schedule hasn't been as tough as you guys, but does that factor in at all, and what do you expect from tonight's game from them?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter who you play. If you beat everybody, you're good, and so that's where they're at. And we.
Right,
we're back as we have could have been a fumble, but that looked to be a fumble by Kevon Thomas, but no, it's Corona football after that field goal by Kaya Francone.
I think Thomas received that kickoff very close to the goal line, tried to run it back, and then got into some trouble there.
Corona with the Twins formation. Ackerley drops back, throws, Glenn caught and immediately tackled by Caden Steptoe.
That right there was nothing short of a battle of wills, because it was a beautifully thrown ball from Connor Ackerley, but a little bit inside. And so Zuri Glenn had to kind of jump inside to try and keep that from being an interception, and he won the battle there as he fell to the ground.
This time they're going trips to the right. Ackerley is sacked by this fearsome Salpointe defense.
17, Dinos Trosos in there first for the Lancers.
Dinos Drosos is credited with the sack. He's a junior, 6'4", 200 pounds, and he intercepted a pass against Marana. Ackerley sacked again by Wilhite and rushing. Keono Wilhite gets credit for the sack. And it looked like he would have joined his teammate Elijah Rushing at U of A, but he decided to decommit just this week. Ackerley eluding the sack. On the run, it'll be, and it's going to be 4th down. It looks like they're going to punt it.
That is 3 straight plays that Ackerley has been heavily under pressure from the Salpointe defense, and you have to give them credit for that because every receiver was still covered by someone. They were just able to rush 3 or 4 and create all kinds of havoc.
This defense is part of the reason why Salpointe is undefeated as of now. As Flynn's punt, it's high and bubble! And it's recovered! Jai Jones! Down at the 30!
Oh my goodness!
What just happened?
Malcolm Flynn's punt went so high and really didn't have a lot of spin on it. I'm not sure. Maybe the receiver lost it in the lights or something, or it just hit his hand so hard. And wow. Jai Jones was right in the right spot at the right time.
And
now if you're Connor Ackerley, you've got to have just a short attention, or not attention span, but you got to have short memory just in that situation to reset after what just happened. And you're now set up in great field position.
Muffed punts take everybody by surprise.
Spotted at the 35-yard line.
Bradley in the backfield. Ackerley hands it to him. And he's met immediately at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, it looks like Elijah Rushing switched his number from 95 to 9.
I think the play clock might have got down too far there, and the Aztecs had to call a timeout.
That's a good decision. The play clock is running out. You want to call a timeout to avoid a delay of game penalty.
Well, and especially as fast as this half has been going, with there only being 8 minutes left in the half, it looks like a great clock management or time management decision by Coach Barrow, just based on how fast the game's been going. You look at the stat sheet and you say, oh, he saved his first timeout until, almost halfway through the second quarter. That's pretty good.
Ackerley in the pocket. Quick throw. It's Jai Jones. Incomplete. Excellent coverage by Richard Archuleta.
Archuleta there defensively for Salpointe.
Absolutely. Jai Jones had a good route there. The ball was just not thrown quite in the right spot. And now looking at 3rd and 10, I wasn't sure if I wanted to make a comment on this before, but you know what? We'll see if this works at all. I don't think we've seen a whole lot from Raiden Feinsbright tonight. I wonder if we'll see some more from him soon.
Cruz Swearingen on the trick play. Dave finds Bright wide open, but there's a flag.
Oh. Could it
The
have-
Aztecs caught the Lancers napping on that one. The wide receiver pass, and we know Cruz Swearingen can throw the
Touchdown
football.
is good.
And the touchdown is
Foul,
good.
Face mask on 99 Reds.
It is good. Personal foul against the defense. Face mask.
The trick play.
And that is something that you can do when you have your backup quarterback as a regular wide receiver in the lineup.
Yes, you can.
And maybe, Salpointe, I'm sure they did their homework coming into
Yeah.
this game, but maybe they forgot to
Yeah.
look at the end of last season and hold on now. Cruz Swearingen played a lot under center at the end of last year.
Yeah. Connor Ackerley got injured. Cruz Swearingen came in. Receiver and backup quarterback. You believe that? That is something that they definitely didn't account for. As Luke Hawley's kick is good.
Point after is good. 8:19 remaining in the second quarter.
After that big brain touchdown, 8 minutes, 19 seconds left in the second quarter. It's Corona 7, Salpointe 3.
By directing your personal or corporate state tax dollars to the Lancers. Arizona tax.
Hey folks, just reminding you to stay tuned during halftime for some special Varsity Sports Show programming with updates on local sports.
Wow, they are looking to spot based off of that face mask penalty. The kickoff, the ball will be spotted on the 45-yard line of the Lancers. So the two men back deep to receive are lined up on their own 5-yard line.
Tell you what, Cruz Swearingen is a Swiss Army knife on this Aztec offense. He can throw, he can run, and he can catch. This one is going to go for a touchback.
And kick goes into the end zone for a touchback.
So now you've got, it's 7-3, not a whole lot of cushion, but a little room to work with here for the Aztecs. And it took a trick play to get them in the end zone for their first one.
Yeah.
But other than the field goal they gave up, this defense has been pretty solid here against Salpointe.
Sometimes you got to go into the old bag of tricks. And that's the first trick play we've seen out of this Aztec offense. Remember, they were the victim of a halfback pass 2 weeks ago against Marcos Deniza, but that one ended in disaster as the receiver fumbled the football. Here's a run by Wills Denard.
When you mentioned that Coach Barrow running the trick plays, I would maybe say he was channeling his inner Kenny Dillingham.
Yeah.
3-yard gain.
He likes to get Cam Scadaboo to throw,
Yes.
the running back.
He has Scadaboo has a 75% completion rate as a quarterback in his limited time.
Did he play quarterback in high school?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
Offense, 5 yards, repeat, second down.
Well, it's interesting that we usually...
He says, I am not the only receiver on this team. It's not just Raiden, it's also me and Jai. And as they get it to Raiden here, RVB is undoubtedly the leader of this receiving corps, but you can't count out Zuri Glenn and Dominic Ruiz and Jai Jones and the injured Jacob Helt.
gain on the completion.
So Salpointe leading 10-7. The Aztecs here on a 2nd and 6 with the line to gain around the 6 or 7 yard line here.
Looks like on the top of your screen is somebody who I haven't seen, Jason Gonzalez Jr. This pass intended for Jai Jones, incomplete.
A little low. I thought maybe Jones could have dropped his hands and caught it, but
That's going to bring him third down.
not quite.
3rd and 6. Pass intended for Zuri Glenn. Incomplete. Excellent coverage by Caden Steptoe.
Well, I think one thing's for sure. Despite the fact that they can get a first down, the Aztecs are hunting for the end zone here.
That's going to bring a 4th down for the Aztecs.
Looks like they'll go for it on the 4th down. They bring Raiden Vinesbright back into the game.
Salpointe, their first.
Salpointe's going to take a timeout. They do not want to surrender their lead.
Now you wonder, if you're the Aztecs, you got the ball on the 12-yard line, and does this give them a chance to think it over? Do they think about kicking a field goal at all? Or I think we've seen the aggressive mindset from Coach Barrow today. I would imagine they're probably still going to go for it. As you might have been able to hear, a little bit of gusty winds here in Tucson. 9 miles an hour consistently with 19 miles an hour on the gusts. Still 89 degrees, same temperature as kickoff, but now the sky completely dark here.
Now we are definitely under the Friday night lights. They went for the hard count, and they succeeded.
Good ball, encroachment on the defense, 5 yards.
Penalty is going to make it 4th down and 1.
So the defense called for encroachment on that one. And that sets up Corona del Sol much more favorably. 4th and 1.
And immediately met at the line of scrimmage was Nick Mustachio.
Salpointe just sniffed that one out. Loaded the box, and Mustachio had nowhere to go.
They read it like a book.
Answers will take over 1st and 10.
The Lancers get it back, 2 minutes still to work with.
As the Lancers are back on offense, Aiden Cook Rodriguez, the quarterback.
This is a big drive here for the Aztecs.
As Cook Rodriguez is going to take it himself, and he is gone. Nobody's going to catch him. Touchdown, Lancers.
There was a flag in the backfield, though.
Uh-oh.
And Coach Barrow, I think, is hoping that
Yeah.
Coach.
they're hoping that it is against Salpointe here to bring back that touchdown.
Anyways, a very long touchdown run by Aiden Cook Rodriguez, who is supposed to be the backup. Coming into this game, he only had 66 passing yards.
They do bring it back to the spot.
Oh, man.
We didn't have the official announcement of the call. Maybe they're still talking about it, but I think might have seen some sort of face mask.
Holding on the offense, half the distance to the goal, still first down.
What
Boy,
a
that is
turnaround.
What a big holding penalty right there.
What a turnaround.
And I mean, it didn't seem super important, 1 or 2 plays ago, but now that play took about 20 seconds or so, maybe 18 seconds off the clock for those last couple of plays, and set up the Lancers deep in their own territory.
Wow. Here is
Wow.
a pass deflected immediately by the defensive line. That was Mason Alexander.
Yeah, he stands at 6'4", 220, and when you got a guy that tall right in your face as a quarterback, it's hard to get the throw off. It was almost like a shot block in basketball, the motion that he had on that.
Denied. Second down. Handoff is to Wills Denard.
Ball carrier number 4, Jalen Wills Denard. Tackle made by 9. Keena Brill.
Keenan Abril on the tackle.
This is a big possession and a big stop right here for the Aztecs because the clock still runs. Third and 11.
And what a tackle for a loss by Mason Alexander there.
Alexander has been the man of the hour lately, or at least the man of the last few minutes for Corona del Sol. They take a timeout here, 4th and 11. I think they're trying to work the clock and see if they can cook something up. This is their second timeout they've taken of the half, so they're going to have to aim towards the sidelines if they want to stop the clock. They only have 1 remaining.
Timeout, it'll be 4th down and 15 for Salpointe in punt formation. 25, Joey Bernier. Back deep for the Aztecs.
They're going to punt from their own 6-yard line. Ooh.
Cambrell Walker recovers it.
Walker on the return.
Wrapped up at the 30, and a flag. Some extracurricular activity going on here.
Another flag flew in from the other side. See who these are called against.
Less than a minute left before halftime.
Dead ball, personal foul on the defense, 15 yards, first down.
And the Salpointe crowd does not like that.
Well, that timeout call just seems a lot more brilliant now with 45 seconds to go, and the Aztecs start their drive on the 20-yard line of Salpointe.
Here's Ackerley. He throws. Braden Vines Bright in double coverage. That was Nathan Spivey on the breakup.
Receiver, Missouri Glenn. Second down.
Connor Ackerley takes it himself. We know he can run. He's got almost as many rushing yards as Nick Mustachia.
Well, and you credit Ackerley there not only for being able to just take off and run with it, but that was an extremely intelligent play, getting out of bounds before he would have been hit. Maybe he could have gained another yard or two, but it stops the clock at 34 seconds.
For the 13-yard line, third down and 3.
Quentin Bradley on the run with
Goes to number 13,
a good gain or a good gain.
Tackled by 15, Dinos Drosos.
Dinos Drosos on the tackle. As they take a timeout.
Timeout on the field.
I think this Corona del Sol team was really just rejuvenated with that break. We've seen them come out with a lot of energy since the beginning of the game, and they just have not stopped fighting even when Salpointe scored. They just take every punch and come back, and this is much more like the team that I watched last year. Just the way they've been fighting. And when I talked to Coach Barr before the game, I was expecting a different answer than actually what I got when I mentioned the records of these two teams. And, I thought he'd say that they were going to, not pay attention to the record, but he said, no, you've got to credit Salpointe. It doesn't matter who they're playing. Winning 5 games in a row is very impressive. But the players don't seem to be worried too much about that.
Connor Ackerley throws on the run. Dominic Ruiz gets the first down.
They've got to hustle to the line of scrimmage or maybe spike it. I think they got the first down. They might start the clock as soon as that ball is spotted. Yep, they will.
Ackerley spikes the football.
Well, that's interesting. They didn't run the clock, and then they ran it down to 17 seconds after the play had already started and begun.
Seconds remaining in the second quarter.
They set it back to 21.
Salpointe 10, Corona del Sol 7. It'll be second down.
Well, that's interesting. The announcer said it was second down, and then the yardstick realized, oh yeah, we did just have a play. It is second down, and then the scoreboard realized it too.
Connor Ackerley on the run, throws incomplete out the back of the end zone.
closest receiver, number 16, Dominic Ruiz. That's going to bring up third down.
Well, the PA said Dominic Ruiz was the closest. I would argue it was Cruz Swearingen. He kind of put his hands on his head in the back of the end zone. Just a missed connection there between the quarterback and the semi-quarterback / wide receiver.
Yeah. That's what he is, all right.
From the 7-yard line, third down and goal.
If you want to go into the bag of tricks, he's the one. As the pass is
there
to
he
him.
is!
You were just talking about him, and now he catches a touchdown pass.
Pass complete to number 8, Cruz Swearingen. 7-yard touchdown pass from number 2, Connor Ackerley, to number 8, Cruz Swearingen.
How about this Corona del Sol team? Coach Barrow called a timeout, and it worked out for him.
In a back and forth first half, with 11 seconds to go, Luke Hawley's kick is good.
Point after is good.
And
11.6 seconds.
We have
Your opening half.
Corona del Sol 14, Salpointe 10.
Now, I don't know what we'll see here from Salpointe. I think, based on my memory, I think they have 2 timeouts left. And so will they try to run one last play, maybe 2 more plays, considering that they will not get the ball to start the second half and they're down 4 points? Or will they just kneel it out and try to reset?
Folks, tune in before and after game time every week to the Varsity Live Show for pre- and post-game highlights and interviews. Go to our Twitter @Varsity Show for the link to the Varsity Live Show. Malcolm Flynn to kick it off. The kick is high, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback.
So based on that huddle, I think they might try to run a couple plays here.
And they kneel it down, and
Rodriguez takes
the
a
clock
knee.
is going to run out.
Play of the first half after 1 half of play here at Indoor Stadium.
And that is the end of the first half. Stick around for Varsity Sports Show halftime programming coming up next.
Game 2 of the National League Wildcard Series between the Diamondbacks and Brewers. In case you missed it on Wednesday, we're going to start bottom of the first. Bases loaded for Sal Frelick of the Brewers with 1 out, facing Zach Gallen, the Diamondbacks ace. Frelick's going to fly out to right field. Christian Yelich is going to score on the sacrifice fly. Early 1-0 lead for the Brewers. Then bottom of the first still for Willy Adames. He comes through with 2 outs with an RBI single to center. The Brewers would have an early 2-0 lead. We're going to go to the bottom of the third. Sal Frelick again against Zach Gallen again. Tough spot again, but this time Zach Gallen comes through with a double play. You can see the line drive right back to the mound, but the pitcher drops the glove, but no panic, is able to turn the double play. We're going to go to the top of the 5th. No score for the D-backs until Alec Thomas hits a solo home run to put the Diamondbacks on the board. His first career postseason hit and first career postseason home run. Nice left-handed swing from the youngster, you can see right there, to cut the deficit in half. We're going to go to the top of the 6th inning. This was the big inning. It was a Geraldo Perdomo walk, Corbin Carroll double, then a Ketel Marte RBI single up the middle to give the Diamondbacks a lead. What a clutch hit from the veteran Diamondback, Marte, who's been with the team since 2017. You can see there, great piece of hitting from Marte to go up the middle. Sal Frelick would try to throw out the speedy Corbin Carroll at home, but no chance, because Corbin Carroll, as we know, is one of the fastest base runners in the league, and the dugout loves what they see. But we're not done in the top of the sixth. The bases were loaded. Abner Uribe on the mound for the Brewers, a wild pitch, allowing Tommy Pham to come home and score, and it's a 4-2 lead for the D-backs. Tommy Pham, big-time trade acquisition during the trade deadline this season. You can see great heads-up base running from the veteran. He comes home to score. So we're staying in the top of the sixth. Lourdes Gurriel, a little bit of a floater, awkward-looking fly ball, a little bit of a misplay from Christian Yelich, but ultimately it lands for another hit and another RBI from the D-backs. It is 5-2 in the top of the sixth. 3-run lead now. D-backs trying to preserve it. We're going to go to the bottom of the eighth. Kevin Ginkel pitching out of the bullpen for the Diamondbacks, but a bad start to the inning for the D-backs. Good start for the Brewers. Bunt single from Christian Yelich. They get a runner on to start the inning, and then it's William Contreras going the other way, and it's 5-2, 2-on for the Brewers. Then with one out, Mark Canha also goes the opposite way. Down the line, it sneaks in for a single, so now the bases are loaded with one out for the Brewers. Andrew Salfrank, the rookie who pitched barely over 10 innings this season, goes home for the force out, tries to go to goes to first for the double play, but could not, but got the most important out at home. And how about the manager, Torey Lovullo, trusting the rookie Andrew Salfrank with 2 outs, bases loaded, Willy Adames up the middle, but right there is Ketel Marte to get out of the big-time jam. So the D-backs 1 inning away from shutting it down and moving on to the National League Division Series. Paul Sewald on the mound. He goes with a line drive, and it's almost caught by Perdomo, but smart play for him to recover and go to Marte at second and at least get 1 out, and that was the 2nd out of the 9th. So with the closer on, can they get 1 final out to move on? Not quite yet. Christian Yelich goes the opposite way for a double, and the Brewers once again have an opportunity. It's 2nd and 3rd. Diamondbacks looking for the final closing out. Can they get it? Facing William Contreras. Paul Sewald strikes him out on 3 pitches. How about the Arizona Diamondbacks going into Milwaukee, winning both games out of the best 2 out of 3 series in the wild card round? They will advance to face the Los Angeles Dodgers. They go insane in the locker room, and they deserve it. What a win.
Hello everyone, this is Kyle Cooper with Varsity Sports. The Phoenix Suns just acquired center Yusuf Nurkic in a trade this offseason. Now, talk about an origin story. Yusuf Nurkic was only 14 years old when his father Haris Nurkic beat up 14 people in a fight as a cop in Bosnia. Yes, that's correct. He won a fight against 14 people. It certainly helps when you're 7 feet tall and weigh over 400 pounds. I definitely wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of that man. Reporter Enis Trnovovic was reading the newspaper and stopped upon this story. He knew that he had to immediately talk to Haris, but he wasn't interested in the policeman as much as his son. He asked Haris if he had any children. Haris answered and told him about Yusuf Nurkic. At the time, Nurkic was only 14, but the reporter could see the potential in his son. From there, he took Nurkic to Slovenia and gave him the opportunity to play basketball. And, as they say, the rest is history. Nurkic now stands at 7 feet tall and weighs 290 pounds. He started his career by being drafted by the Denver Nuggets and played with them from 2014 to 2017. Nurkic played well with the Nuggets, but things changed when one of the best centers in the NBA, Nikola Jokic, arrived. Nurkic saw his value fall with the team and spent time on the bench. Now, he isn't one to keep quiet, and he requested a trade immediately. The Nuggets granted his request, and Nurkic moved to the Portland Trail Blazers. In his best season with Portland, he played 72 games, and he averaged 15.6 points, shot 50.8%, had 10.4 rebounds in that 2018-19 season. While productive, Nurkic struggled to stay healthy in his last 3 seasons with the team. Over his career, Nurkic has averaged 12.3 points per game, shot 50.2% from the field, grabbed 8.6 rebounds, and has had 2.3 assists. The Phoenix Suns have just acquired the center, and while he needs to play well, a large amount of responsibility falls on head coach Frank Vogel to get the most out with their stellar offense. Vogel has built elite defenses in the past with centers Roy Hibbert and Anthony Davis. He even won a championship with the Lakers. But he also didn't do as well when he was coaching with the Nikola Vucevic. They only won 54 total games in 2 seasons with the Magic, and they ranked 24th in the NBA. They were also ranked 20th on defense. Like I said before, the Suns don't need an all-star center to play great defense this year. They have a number of players off the bench that can help them defensively, and if Nurkic can play good enough defense to win enough games, they will do well this season. But some questions remain. Will Vogel strike gold again with Nurkic at center? How will Nurkic play throughout the season and the postseason? Will Nurkic channel his father and beat up the other 14 teams in the Western Conference? We will have to see as the season progresses, and the Suns now have Nurkic on their team. The keys for Nurkic will be playing well, not only down low but on the perimeter as well. He's shown that he does have a three-point shot and can also dish it off when he needs to. And another important key is to avoid drama in the locker room, which DeAndre Ayton didn't do. But for Nurkic, this is a big role for him, and I think he knows that going into this season. Once again, their first game is against the Golden State Warriors later this month. Thank you all for tuning in to this halftime segment. I'm Kyle Cooper with Varsity Sports, and enjoy the second half of the games.
When you think of family restaurants and sports bars, think Bonfire. Bonfire is part of the Tempe landscape, supporting local schools. Join the Bonfire Booster Club Challenge. Mention Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Marcos de Niza, Mountain Point, or Valley Christian, and that school's sports program will earn loyalty points. The winner after football season will earn a fundraiser at Bonfire. Come for the food and fun, support the community. Bonfire, open every day east of I-10 on Warner. Show your game ticket all day Friday and Saturday and get 15% off. 480-306-6801.
Hey there, I'm Aaron Nemiroff, and I'll be joining the Varsity Sports Show for the fall 2023 semester. Sports has always been my passion, and I'm looking forward to working with the team. Check out my Twitter for a variety of sports content at Aaron2Tons.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hello, Arizona sports fans. I'm Lofton Lechner, and I couldn't be happier to be joining the Varsity Sports team as a technical director for fall 2023. Follow me on Twitter at Lofton Lechner to stay locked in for the season.
Hi Varsity Sports fans, this is Shai Gara. Make sure you stay tuned for our halftime where we break down different highlights from sports locally or otherwise, so plenty of entertainment and content coming your way if you stick around with us. What I personally think is cool about our halftime show is we cover different sports, maybe some you might not expect, and a variety of different content, of course, high school football, and maybe some professional stuff such as NFL highlights from the previous week.
Hey folks, J.R. Lambright here, special field correspondent for the Varsity Sports Show. Join me every Saturday from 8 to 10 a.m. Pacific for JR's Texas Tales, where I share stories of Texans who triumphed over adversity and gave back to their local communities. Tune in for a bit of gritty edification on KDUS AM 1060, Arizona.
On YouTube, Fridays at 6:30 p.m. MST for pregame and 10 p.m. MST for postgame. I'm your host, Kyle Cooper, and I will see you Friday night.
Coaches, the Varsity Sports Show wants to be part of your team in 2023. We have a proven track record of providing the most coverage of your teams with Thursday and Friday night football. We will spotlight your players with multi-camera game broadcasts, pre- and post-game interviews, and segments on our Saturday morning radio show. With over 100 games broadcast in 2022, we will be exceptional for your team. Call, text, or email 480-220-4629 or info@varsitysportshow.com. Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
What's inside you? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center uses the latest technologies to train the athlete in all of us. Unlock the greatness inside of you.
Hi, my name is Eric Perry, and I'm the proud owner of Eco Roofing Solutions. I've been in this industry for over 25 years, and I'm the current president of the Arizona Roofing Contractors Association. Our mission is to provide the absolute best customer experience, and we operate all over the entire state of Arizona. We will come out and provide a courtesy, no obligation roof inspection to you, as well as an estimate within 24 hours. Our team is dedicated to providing the best quality product and workmanship, and we're here to serve you. You can call us at 480-695-7736 or check us out online at ecoroofaz.com. To learn more about us, you can find me on Instagram at YourBeardedRoofer or at Eco Roofing Solutions AZ. We are proud supporters of our community's youth and the next generation, and we would love for you to come and join the hashtag Eco family today.
Call Eric and his team at Eco Roofing Solutions, 480-695-7736, and they'll give you a fast, free, no-nonsense estimate. Tell them Vince sent you.
What's inside you? Is it strength? Is it speed? Is it knowledge of the game? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper, running faster, and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center trains the athlete in all of us with technology, techniques, and hands-on experience customized to you. See what you're capable of by unlocking the greatness inside of you.
Hey everyone, my name is Jason Goldie from the Varsity Sports Show. I love sports and fell in love with sports broadcasting back in high school. I can't wait to bring you my unique perspective because I am on the autism spectrum and sometimes I view things a little differently.
When you think of family restaurants and sports bars, think Bonfire. Bonfire is part of the Tempe landscape, supporting local schools. Join the Bonfire Booster Club Challenge. Mention Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Marcos de Niza, Mountain Point, or Valley Christian, and that school's sports program will earn loyalty points. The winner after football season will earn a fundraiser at Bonfire. Come for the food and fun, support the community. Bonfire, open every day east of I-10 on Warner. Show your game ticket all day Friday and Saturday and get 15% off. 480-306-6801.
Hey there, I'm Aaron Nemiroff, and I'll be joining the Varsity Sports Show for the fall 2023 semester. Sports has always been my passion, and I'm looking forward to working with the team. Check out my Twitter for a variety of sports content at Aaron2Tons.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hello, Arizona sports fans. I'm Lofton Lechner, and I couldn't be happier to be joining the Varsity Sports team as a technical director for fall 2023. Follow me on Twitter at Lofton Lechner to stay locked in for the season.
Hi Varsity sports fans, this is Shai Gara. Make sure you stay tuned for our halftime where we break down different highlights from sports locally or otherwise, so plenty of entertainment and content coming your way if you stick around with us. What I personally think is cool about our halftime show is we cover different sports, maybe some you might not expect, and a variety of different content, of course, high school football, and maybe some professional stuff such as NFL highlights from the previous week.
Hey folks, J.R. Lambright here, special field correspondent for the Varsity Sports Show. Join me every Saturday from 8 to 10 a.m. Pacific for JR's Texas Tales, where I share stories of Texans who triumphed over adversity and gave back to their local communities. Tune in for a bit of gritty edification on KDUS AM 1060, Arizona.
Hi everyone, nice to meet you. I'm Ryan Sikora. I'm going to be one of the interns this fall at the Varsity Sports Show. So happy to be with you guys this year. I've loved sports for as long as I can remember, and I cannot wait to be with you guys on Thursday, Friday, and even some Saturdays all this year.
The hottest show covering Arizona high school football, Varsity Live. Do you want to hear from players of the week and our own analysts covering all of varsity sports games? We bring you pre-game previews and post-game recaps every single Friday night, wrapped up all into one show called Varsity Live. Tune in at Varsity Sports Show on YouTube Fridays at 6:30 p.m. MST for pregame and 10 p.m. MST for postgame. I'm your host, Kyle Cooper, and I will see you Friday night.
To Salpointe Catholic High School, where the Corona del Sol Aztecs have driven 2 hours, and so have we.
Well, it was a long drive down here, but that has not seemed to faze the Aztecs. They're playing some of the best football I've seen them play all season long.
Yes, they have. Fresh off a bye week, and before that, a blowout win against Marcos Deniza, which is not far from there. They're in the same school district. Anyways, the second half kickoff and recovered by Kevon Thomas for a touchback.
You know, you expect to see the energy. What energy can this Aztecs offense bring out of the locker room, considering they scored right before halftime? They lead by 4 at this point as the 12 minutes of the third quarter begin to tick.
At quarterback for the Aztecs, number 2, Connor Ackerley.
Connor Ackerley back at quarterback. And Nick Mastachia in the backfield. And Ackerley is sacked by Wilhite.
That's been the challenge that Ackerley has faced all night long, is when the defense is solid on the outside and he has to try to get to that second, third, maybe even fourth read. The pocket collapses just because of how good all around this Lancers defense is.
Ackerley drops back, throws, intended for Cruz Swearingen.
47-gate Stepco there for Salpointe. Third down.
Paul, what are your keys for this second half?
I think they've got to keep the pedal to the metal. We saw the Aztecs offense really come alive late in the second half, and they need to keep it going here. A flag flies in.
False start against the offense.
And that's not going to help him. False start. I would say that for maybe the second time this season, the offense is the better half of the ball for Corona del Sol tonight. I think the only other game we saw that in was their last game against Marcos Deniza. Otherwise, the defense really did a lot of the heavy lifting.
Mustachia in the backfield. Dominic Ruiz in motion. Ackerley throws deep. Swearingen! Almost a one-handed catch, but knocked out. Incomplete. Caden Steptoe, excellent job batting it out of his hands.
As a receiver, there's not a whole lot you can do about that. Cruz Swearingen did just about everything he could to haul in that catch, and I think Steptoe just got his hand in there underneath Swearingen's arm, and so he was able to kind of rip the ball out as Swearingen fell to the ground, and now the Aztecs are going to have to punt it away to start the second half.
Malcolm Flynn from his own end zone. And the punt gets to the 45. That is a 45-yard punt. Excellent punting material for the Brown Bears in Providence, Rhode Island.
We do have a flag on the field.
Flag called, I suppose, in the backfield, and see against which team.
Rich Eisen said, punters are people too.
Hey, Will.
Hunters are people.
The referee's still trying to make sure he's got every aspect of the penalty correct. And the side judge now talking with Coach Barrow, talking over the options. So Malcolm Flynn comes back out, and I think they're just going to retry the kick. You'll have a little more room to work with now. It's Coach Barrow trusting his special teams, especially Malcolm Flynn, the punter here. Trying to make it a little bit harder.
10-yard penalty is going to make it 4th down and 7.
That is a big penalty, as the kick will now, or the snap will now be from the 24.
Yeah. Flynn to punt again. This time from his own 10. Wow!
Oh,
all the way to the 30. And it's recovered. Oh!
My goodness.
A suplex by Keen Abril on Armani Sheriff. And this crowd is livid.
I think they really wanted a penalty because the hit drove the Lancer player's head into the ground.
A body slam.
And while we see on the Corona del Sol sideline, they were recreating it there.
Unsportsmanlike over here, all set, 1st down.
So they did call a penalty on each side, but the unsportsmanlike conduct negated the penalty, offset it, and so we played from that spot. But we go back to that punt from Malcolm Flynn. That looked like a deep pass the way it came off his foot. It spiraled down to around the 30-yard line.
Yeah.
And you just can't get it much better than that.
And then
from a high
Armani.
school punter.
Yes. And then Armani Sheriff picked it up and started running, and then a WWE move by Keen Abril.
So it'll be a little harder on Salpointe here as they start it from their own 40. Only down by 4.
This pass completed at the line of scrimmage. That is Tyler Martinez.
Tyler Martinez on the reception. Mark down.
It is a very windy day here.
Yeah, the wind has not given up much here in Tucson. Earlier in the day, we saw the mountains off to the north.
But now the sky is pitch black, and you can't see him anymore.
Jalen Wills Denard, the ball carrier. The Aztecs, number 50, Renner Johnson there first. 1 yard gain. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 9.
It's a big 3rd down here for the Lancers. Can they keep this drive going, or will they be stopped short?
Bottom of your screen is Morgan Query one-on-one with Kevon Thomas. Here's Aiden Cook Rodriguez taking it himself. Down at the 45. Jamar Patterson on the tackle.
Oh, yeah, they're going to spot him short. That's a really good job by the line judge. It was so close when his knee hit the ground.
4th and inches. I would either sneak it or do a hard count.
I wonder if we see a little bit of what we've been seeing lately in college and in the NFL, some sort of tush push, if you will, where they line up the wide receivers behind the quarterback and push him forward. I guess in this situation, it's not a crucial 4th down.
And they're saying it's a 1st down.
Wow. That must have been a discussion by the officials down on the field that overturned the original spot.
Here's Cook Rodriguez, pass complete. Nathan Spivey gets another 1st down.
There's a flag down in the backfield. I think it was a late hit on the quarterback.
Roughing the passer.
Yep.
So that'll give him a couple more yards. Oh, goodness.
These people are loving it.
Not the way the Aztecs probably hoped for the second half to begin.
Here we go. Aiden Cook Rodriguez.
15-yard penalty to the end of the play.
Oh, they did. Oh, my goodness. They hadn't even added on the penalty yardage yet.
Whoa.
That changes this drive completely.
15-yard gain on the
Puts them in field goal range. Or perhaps for high school, just on the edge of field goal range.
Neither of these teams is willing to give up. Pass complete, Nathan Spivey. Spivey to the 15. And a flag down.
Jamar Patterson. 7-yard gain on the completion.
Personal foul, face mask, 42 white.
Oh, man.
Half the distance to the goal.
is pretty much exactly the opposite of what we saw in the first half. Corona del Sol was really limiting their penalties in the first half. Perhaps like the least amount of penalties we had seen from them all season in the first half. And now, whether it's the officials just with a more keen eye or whether Corona del Sol is just getting a little sloppy, something's going wrong here for the Aztecs.
And the Corona offense, Corona defense read that one like a book. Jackson Bonnier immediately stopped. I told you this. I told you the Aztecs weren't going to give up.
No gain on the play.
They know this Salpointe Catholic run game. They've been studying it for 2 weeks. Or 1 week. I don't know. I do know that they did have a bye week, as Bonnier is met at the goal line. And look at this! They got him in the end zone!
Wow.
The teamwork by the Lancers!
And I think the Corona del Sol defenders were a little frustrated on that they thought they held him long enough to stop forward progress, but they did not.
How many times have you seen that? And that was, I think it was a bad snap.
Tried to make something out of nothing there, and it just didn't happen. Oh.
And we have a fight!
Now a lot of emotion, and I'm sure some words exchanged down there on the sideline. And when you've got a game as close as it is right now, with a 2-point game against two teams from the same section, it's going to get chippy at some point. Now the wind really starting to blow here through the stadium, the home of the Lancers.
Well, they botched the snap, went for 2, and the pass was incomplete.
Coach Barrow's really rallying the troops there on the sideline. I don't know if he called the timeout or if they're just having a discussion over there. But I will say, while we have a quick break, this athletic facility here at Salpointe is pretty spectacular. They have 2 whole football fields with a massive track, a full-size baseball field, and a full-size softball field out here. All right in the backyard of the school.
Yeah. Just like a Division II or Division III college. Or a JUCO. Long kick taken by Cambrell Walker. Buffed it a bit, but he got it. He is down all the way to the 20.
Now see, oh, another flag.
Tempers are flaring here in Tucson.
Personal foul, 16.
Oh, so it was called against Salpointe. Charge to Casey Dirk, and he just wasn't totally sure what he got called for.
On the bottom of your screen is Cruz Swearingen. Ackerley throws quick to Swearingen. Gain of about 5.
No, I know you can't just throw the ball on every play just because you got to change up the looks for the defense, but I really think that the right idea here is to stick to the pass game for the most part for the Aztecs. It's really been working well for them tonight, and their run game just has not been as good as it's been against other teams they've played this season.
Cruz Swearingen, after that trick play touchdown pass, that was his second touchdown pass of the season. As here's a pass complete to Jai Jones for a first down.
And yet another flag.
Flags.
And the fans over on this sideline definitely not happy with the amount of flags being thrown.
Where at?
This time I think it was a hold or some sort of penalty against the Aztecs. So that negates the first down, and it'll be 2nd and 5.
Illegal block against the offense.
Illegal block in the back against Corona. With Quentin Bradley in the backfield.
Following the penalty, 2nd and 10.
Here's Ackerley rolling to the left, taking it himself. Out of bounds at about the 40-yard line.
Forced out by number 9, Noah Banye. 2-yard gain.
They say gain of 2.
6 minutes and 15.
Now it's 3rd down.
16, Corona del Sol 14. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 8 for the Aztecs.
So here we go on a long 3rd down.
And this is a 2-point game. This is anyone's game. Ackerley throws. Dominic Ruiz. Incomplete.
That was just great defensive coverage there from Salpointe. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Dre Parra, the safety, is just locked on to Dominic Ruiz. And you got to credit the Lancers. They're able to stop the offense of Corona del Sol after a couple big plays. Force a punt.
The punt is muffed and taken at the 15. That is Armani Sheriff.
Clearly not happy about how he handled that punt for good reason. And I guess you could say that's another break for the Aztecs, although they really haven't been as productive as we could have hoped so far.
As we hit 6 minutes in the 3rd quarter.
Ball at the 17-yard.
Aztecs have not scored yet in the 2nd half.
But they are only down 2 points. A safety would tie things up. Gain of about 2. Wills Denard. And flags are down.
Hey, game on the kicking team. 5 yards, replay the try.
So now do you bring the special teams or the kicking unit back out? Coach Barrow says no. We're going to try it again anyway.
Yeah. Make this a 6-point game. And it's intercepted! Or is it?
I believe so, but because he fell down in the end zone, that's just ruled as a no good attempt. Boy, I tell you, that was a really good route from Missouri Glenn, too. He broke inside and then had a hard cut out towards the pylon, but they had two defenders in the area that were just able to put a stop to it.
And a gutsy call by Jake Barrow. The score remains 20-16. As the Aztecs look to hand Salpointe their first loss of the season. Remember, the Aztecs are 25th in the state, and the Lancers are 18th.
Well, those state rankings really speak numbers when you consider that Corona del Sol is 2-3 and Salpointe is 5-0.
Yeah, but Salpointe has not had a very tough schedule. Malcolm Flynn's kick recovered by Sheriff. Sheriff down to the 30, and Sheriff is gone! Only Flynn to beat! And he's gonna go in for a Lancer touchdown! And the back and forth continues. 82 yards for Armani Sheriff.
Well, it's a 4-point game one way, and just like that, it turns into a 2-point game the other way. And looking like the Lancers will attempt the extra point, put them ahead by a field goal in the points department.
This game is so awesome. And it's good. That makes it a 3-point game. A field goal ties
Oh, wow.
Oh.
What happened? It looked like it went straight through the uprights.
Well,
but the
looked
officials...
like that where we were standing.
Right.
And now a field goal would win. And remember, Luke Hawley has not attempted a field goal this year. Only PATs.
So in a way, I think Coach Barrow kind of got bailed out on that 2-point conversion attempt with the missed extra point opportunity from the Lancers. I just saw the assistant coaches over on the Aztec sideline kind of clapping their hands, making a couple motions to keep the guys on the sideline engaged, ready to go, and keep that energy up over there.
Holmes and Thomas deep as the Aztecs will try and retake the lead in this thriller in Tucson. And what happened there?
I believe they're signaling maybe a false start or something like that. Must have been that the guys on the line got ahead of the kicker there. So they'll have to do it again. The last kick was kind of a line drive.
I am really enjoying this game. Are you, Schultz?
This is by far the best game that Corona del Sol has had all season.
Right, you are.
I mean, when you look at...
You gotta love a little back and forth action.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the scoreboard and you're like, oh, maybe it was that, blowout when they had 56-7 in their last game. But this is what you love to see on the football field, is just an all-out battle from both teams.
Neither of these teams willing to give up.
And again, I go back to, this is just a different mentality, or maybe just a different execution than what we've seen so far this season from the Aztecs. Earlier on in the season, they were playing tough opponents and they just couldn't come back after the opponent scored. This time, they're just resilient in a different way.
Ackerley scrambles, takes it himself. Gain of about,
goodness. What a spectacular play by Zuri Glenn. Oh,
I think that's the second great catch he's made this game.
Off the hands of the defender, he goes out on the sideline. I think he's a little banged up after that one. We hope he's all right. But the drive continues, 1st and 10.
Ackerley rolls to the left. Rushes.
Oh,
and a fight.
Well. Oh, my goodness. Another
and
one.
More fighting.
Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4. At least 5 flags are down on the field if you include one of the officials' hats, because if he needed to throw another penalty, he didn't have his flag, you throw the hat. This is going to take a while to sort out here.
I thought I saw somebody throwing punches. We may see people tossed.
I think the initial spark of this was the late hit out of bounds on Connor Ackerley. We'll see if that ends up in the final total of penalties, or tally of penalties here. Still sorting it out. And here we go. Nope, not quite. Just kidding. Sorry, guys. Here we go.
Okay, we got dead ball, personal foul, late hit on the defense, out of bounds. That's a 15-yard penalty. That will be enforced. We have a dead ball, personal foul on 51 White. He is ejected. Dead ball, personal foul, red 22. He is ejected.
Wow. We just got 2 ejections. Thomas Regina and Nick Garriott.
And that, I mean, we've never called Nick Garriott's name this season, but when you look at the position listed next to him, it's a crucial part of this Corona del Sol offense. The center has been tossed from the game.
Second of the personal fouls will offset. The first one against Salpointe is enforced 15 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 for Corona del Sol.
Where's the police at? Well, if another brawl breaks out, we might need them.
At 2:29 remaining in quarter number 3. Salpointe 22, Corona del Sol.
Yeah, and you're like, boy, it's a chippy game here, and we've still got more than a quarter left. So a huddle over on the Corona del Sol sideline. I think Coach Barra was telling his players, hey, I understand you guys are emotional, but you got to lock in. You cannot be getting after the play penalties. That could cost them the game if it were to continue.
Anyways, Ackerley is intercepted, and this could go all the way. With one man to beat, and it's going to be a pick six. He runs it, gets the first down. Down at about the 32.
See, those are the kind of plays I think that makes Connor Ackerley a special quarterback because, one play he has to sit in and the pocket collapses on him, but one or two plays later he can make a massive run like that to keep his team going.
To the third quarter, the score is Salpointe 29, Corona del Sol 20. Let's take a quick break.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
If they want to win this game, and that's not out of the realm of possibility here, as Cook Rodriguez is down at the 45.
Cook Rodriguez on the keeper.
This Salpointe team has just slowly marched down the field almost to the 50-yard line on this drive so far.
Second and 3.
And we see on the other side, the Aztecs kind of trying to get downfield quickly as they were kind of airing it out more than we've seen in the first half.
As this is Spivey, met at the line of scrimmage.
Pass is complete to 8 Spivey, gain of a yard. Their first for the Aztecs was for Campbell Walker.
Nathan Spivey is their leading receiver.
Third down and 3 for the Lancers.
Third and 2 for Salpointe Catholic. The ball, the snap is muffed, and some extracurriculars.
Oh, I don't know if I agree with that.
Recovered by 5.
Let's see what the call is, but it looks like they called it for the tackle made by the Aztecs defender.
Jackson Baye on the recovery.
Personal foul over here.
Personal foul against the defense.
That'll be a first down.
All right, so I'm using my own iPhone, but my phone's terrible when it comes to
15-yard penalty is going to result in a Lancer first down. It'll be spotted at the 47-yard line, first and 10. Lancers.
Yeah, I still do. It's just
First and 10 from the 47. He throws, caught.
Pass is complete. 88 Isaac Boyle on the reception.
Receiver is Isaac Moyle.
That's enough for another Lancer first down.
And another first down. Handoff is to Bonnier.
Goes to number 5, Jackson Bonnier. Tackle made by 14, Jamar Patterson. 8-yard gain.
The Lancers just continue to push their way down the field. And although it's taken them a while, that could be part of the strategy there, with only 5 minutes left on the clock.
Adon Coke Rodriguez hands it off to Wills Denard. Looks to be no gain.
Jalen Wills Denard. Loss of 2 on the play. 23, Isaiah McKay there first for the Aztecs.
Tackle's going to go to Isaiah McKay.
It'll be 3rd down and 5.
And a flag.
Dead ball,
Penalty is
encroachment.
offsides against the defense. 5-yard penalty.
So the penalties starting to stack up a little bit here for the Aztecs. Not what you need, especially when you're down 9 points.
It's either 3rd down and inches.
3rd down and short.
3rd and inches, they say. A stiff arm. Orlando Gonzalez
Against the offense.
holding against Salpointe.
Well, it's not ideal, but with only 4 minutes left, it's also not quite the end of the world for the Lancers.
Yeah. They're only leading by 9 points.
Unless I stopped playing, I couldn't fit against the mission. So I'm really a good backup to send the big.
10-yard penalty is going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Here is Adon Coke Rodriguez rushing, evading the sack. He could be gone. No, he's not.
With the keeper.
He just got rolled out of the pocket so quick that the Aztec defenders who got into the backfield couldn't take him down.
He has some serious speed.
Unsportsmanlike.
Sportsmanlike conduct.
So another penalty, unsportsmanlike penalty against Salpointe. Set him back a little bit, but really, that kind of might be what they want here. Or, I mean, not ideal, but when they're able to chew this much time off the clock, really kind of a slow way to quiet this Corona del Sol team.
Penalty was after the play, so it'll be 1st down and 10.
Bonnier.
Ball carrier is number 5, Jackson Bonnier.
Gain of about 3.
In there first for the Aztecs, 7, Mason Alexander. 3-yard gain.
That clock continues to tick down now, just about 3 minutes.
Yeah, the clock is definitely ticking for Corona del Sol. They need to score twice in order to eke out the victory. As here,
Ball carrier is 34, Orlando Gonzalez.
Orlando Gonzalez.
I think what they really need here is what has caused them so much trouble all game. I think they need an interception here.
Yes, they do. They need an INT.
Can you tell her also I'm going to grab it?
And even better, a pick six.
Paul's going to grab the ref.
Speaking of pick sixes, in the last game against Marcos Deniza, Brandon Holmes got one.
Oh, they have to stop play for a second because the scoreboard went out. Now, will they try to fix it? Or will they just play the old-fashioned way and they let the officials keep score on their watch? Yeah, it looks like the head referee is setting his watch, and they're just going to do it the old-fashioned way.
Time will be kept on the field by the officials.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this game is still on.
No, not at all.
Gonzalez gets the handoff. No, it's a shovel pass. Isaac Boyle.
Tackle by 6, Marion Wade.
Now they will.
Yeah.
12-yard gain on the play. That's enough for a Lancer. First down.
And the scoreboard is back on. Clock running. Less than 2 minutes left. And flags. I think it's false start. Yes. And looks like the ref mic went out. As Paul Schultz is going down there to interview Coach Barrow. With 1:17 left in this game. Orlando Gonzalez. That was Mason Alexander on the tackle.
Tackle made by 6, Marion Wade. Timeout, Corona del Sol. 6-yard gain on the play.
We have a timeout on the field. Handoff. Bonnier down to the 10, and he got the first down. As the Lancers look to put the exclamation point on this football game and remain undefeated. Nobody has scored yet in this fourth quarter. Adon Coke Rodriguez. In the shotgun. The handoff. Wills Denard. Stopped short. And is this where you kneel out the football? Oh wait, no. Game over. He never went out of bounds, so it's game over. That wraps up another exciting night of Friday night football on the Varsity Sports Show. The final score tonight is Corona del Sol 20, Salpointe 29. Thanks to our technical director, Bailey Leisure, and our camera operators, Shay Garrett and Matt Rivera. Remember to tune into the Varsity Sports Show on KDUS AM 1060 every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. for game recaps, coach interviews, and special sports segments from our contributors. Also, check out our Twitter @Varsity Show for more content and for the link to Varsity Live before and after the game. I'm Jason Goldie, and on behalf of my color analyst Paul Schultz and myself and everyone at the Varsity Sports Show, thanks for watching and have a great weekend.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.